sing the song with him and dance with him. I love Excalibur.
Totally forgot about Excalibur.
I would totally play Settlers of Catan with Excalibur. I don't know why. Just totally into that game right now.
What would I do with Excalibur? I would jam him into a stone, and then I would defy people to try to remove him. Excalibur. I loved Excalibur. Yeah, and Troy did an amazing job with it. I wanted to play him, not Troy. I wanted to play Excalibur. Could have been worse. I could have said I wanted to do him. I want to do him. I mean him. I mean voice Excalibur, not Troy. Forget it.
Zach played me the Japanese song from Excalibur, and I laughed for like 20 minutes and derailed the session because it was so funny and it makes no sense. And I was like, how are you going to have someone do this and make it even be remotely as funny as this? And he was like, oh, I'm gonna get Troy to do it. And so I was like, oh, Troy's awesome, but I was a little skeptical. And then when I heard it, I was like, okay. He's like, I wanna see how you respond, because if you don't have the same natural reaction and you don't laugh for the same amount of time, we're gonna have a problem. And I laughed just as long, and it was super funny. It's such a good song. It makes no sense.
Someone else pick someone. I've been picking people for a while. Jeremy, it's your turn to pick.
Yes. I think it's is that Adam? Yes. Me! Black Star's just, I don't know. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Patty doesn't have a chip. She's just happy to be Patty and live in Pattyland. Yeah, that should be like Candyland.
I'd like to have a chip on my shoulder. Oh, you said chip. Oh, sorry. That's right, a chip. I'd like a chip.
Let's go someplace, Vic. Take me someplace.
Lady Ichigo.
Oh, wow. I would go to Iceland. Yeah. Well, I mean, first I do Europe and everything in Europe, but once I did that, I'd want to go to Iceland. Because it's very beautiful and remote. And like, if I go on a vacation, I like to, like, you know, sometimes you go on a vacation and it's like you're exhausted at the end of it. It's like, oh, that vacation exhausted me and now I have to go back to work. Like, I picture in Iceland, you'd be like, wow, more beauty. And then you'd like sit and then go eat something and have like some gruel. I don't know why, I feel like I'd eat gruel. I would eat gruel.
You know what I remember, when somebody says Iceland, I remember being literally in like grade school, and when we were studying geography, somebody telling me, it may have even been the teacher, that what's funny about Iceland and Greenland is that Iceland is really green and Greenland is covered in ice.
When he said that, that is exactly where my brain went as well. We had the same teacher.
Well, it's nice to know the education system has not changed in 30 years. I've been there before, but I would go back in a heartbeat, and that is my homeland, Italy. I have family that still live in Italy, and it's so beautiful. They live in Florence, Firenze, and I've been, you know, I've had the chance to go to some really great places. I've been to Israel a few times, and several European countries, and Japan, of course, is amazing. I'd love to go to Thailand, and I'd love to go to maybe like a Middle Eastern, you know, country, just to like experience the, you know, the culture, the difference in the cultures. And yeah, how about you?
I have always wanted to go to Italy, but I would actually want to shoot a film in Italy. I think that would be really fun.
Yes.
I just think that there's so much history there, and I love that kind of stuff. I also love the artistic renaissance from Italy. So I would want to go there. I would also want to go to Japan. And I want to go back to England. I love England. So I can't pick between those three. So I guess it would just have to be a 3-part vacation.
Where would you like to go, Lady Ichigo?
Well, I would want to go to Japan because they have so much stuff to see.
You know what's cool about Japan? It's like another planet. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a very exotic way. You could go almost anywhere in the world, and there would be enough signage and elements of English that you could be like, oh, that's the way out, or oh, you know what I mean? But in Japan, it's like symbols and kanji, and you have no idea. When I went, I rode a bicycle. I borrowed a guy's bike, and I wanted to ride around town, and I would ride through an intersection, and then I would turn around and take a picture of the intersection so that I could remember like what it looked like where I came from, because I mean you could get lost so easy, and nobody speaks English, so you know it's really like a different world. It's amazing. It's exciting. Sorry?
No.
They were very friendly, but you can't communicate. You know what I mean? You can't ask them anything. No word like makes even any sense. Like, again, so many English words, you know, in Europe and even in like, you know, Africa or Eastern Europe. I mean, there's enough English that you can kind of half figure it out. And you meet people on the street that kind of half get it. But my first experience in Japan was like, you can't stop somebody on the street and say, "Where's the subway?" And they go, like the word subway doesn't even translate. There's not a lot of universal words like that. It's just really interesting. And like, am I a big person? No, I'm like average size, right? I wanted so bad to buy some J-rock, J-pop fashion like clothing, and I went to Harajuku. And I walked down this alley with all of these, I mean, every window had the coolest stuff. And I would go in and nothing fits. I couldn't get a pair of jeans over my thighs. I'm like, I need the biggest size of this jean. And like, they would give me like the biggest one they had. And I couldn't even get, I started feeling really like self-conscious. I'm like, I'm fat. But then the worst thing was when one guy at like the 15th Japanese clothing store I went to in Harajuku, who actually spoke a little bit English, and I said to the guy, I'm like, nothing fits. I'm like, I want so badly to have some of these clothes and nothing fits. You know what he said? Maybe you go sumo store. Maybe sumo fit you. I'm like,
I think you look
I'll
good.
kill you right now.
Yeah, I think you'd look good in the diaper thing. You know?
Right? Yeah, the diaper will fit. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks for that.
Tamaki, why are you so fat?
Shut up! You're so mean.
Right here.
I know you guys said you already like relate to each character you voice act, but if you could pick one character from any of the animes you've done to actually live their life, which ones would you choose?
That's my answer.
I don't know.
Actually live their life. Actually have to have their life.
Right.
Oh, Austria.
I said battery's gone, bye-bye.
That would be awesome.
About 40 minutes.
Because you think about like Hiei or Android 17. Android 17 ends up getting reverse pooped up Cell's tail. I mean, there's, you know, Hiei's, you know, suffer and anger and powerful but sad. Stein, crazy, you know. Yeah, I think I'd go with Austria.
Well, it's not gonna be Strike Witches because I like ants.
Aww.
Yeah. Gosh, probably either either Sailor Venus or Lucy from Fairy Tale. Because then I get to be a girly girl, but I still get to like kick ass too. So yeah. And I get to be magical.
Whose life would I live?
Yeah, with your characters.
I would be Ed, only 6'4". Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Ed would sound like this. Hey, brother. Go make me a sandwich. I don't know. I mean, it'd be fun to be one of your characters that has magical powers, you know, and alchemy would be a really cool thing to have. But, I mean, in a real world, you know, it'd be fun to be someone like Tamaki. I really love him a lot. Or Broly. No, he just destroys everything. That's no fun. Yeah, let's just go with Ed. Let's just say Ed. Let's just go with Tall Ed. Okay? No, you cannot call him Shorty anymore. You have to call him Tolly.
You gotta drink your milk. He's
What?
still a shrimp.
Yes, he's NFL football Ed. Yes. That makes him 6'7".
He could be a jumbo
With
shrimp.
the antenna.
Jumbo shrimp.
Phone camera girl arm hand.
See, now, I could really be a jerk and say, this is a Soul Eater panel. We should not be doing or on stuff in the Soul Eater panel. But I could get in trouble. I could be deported.
Along with the coffee.
Well, you know what? Let's take a vote. Because I want you guys, I mean, I want to stay on course here. So, how many of you guys, by a show of hands, think I should do the coffee line? Well, damn. That didn't work out how I planned at all. Oh. Are we doing it? You and me? Yeah, come on, get up here.
Do it.
Come here.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, you had no idea you were going to get roped into this. Excellent. Yeah, rethinking that whole question right now, aren't you?
It's like if I'm going down, you're going down with me.
This is Haley. Say hi to Haley.
Hi.
Say, you're due.